BAME 25F graduate student studying gender discrimination in workplace. Thesis about microaggressions women face during hiring process getting interviews. Decide to run control experiment using male candidates for comparison. Create identical resumes except for names, and one detail height. List heights ranging from 5'4" to 6'2" on applications randomly. Assume height won't matter for office jobs, obviously irrelevant qualifications. Send out 200 applications for entry-level marketing positions nationwide. Tracking response rates expecting to focus on gender differences mainly. First week results come in something weird is happening already. Male resumes with 6.0 and above getting 75% callback rate. Same exact resumes listing 5 back on 7. Getting maybe 20% responses maximum. The 5x4 resume hasn't gotten single callback yet. Somehow mysteriously. Must be statistical anomaly. Right height doesn't matter. Professionally ever, week 2. Same pattern but even more pronounced than before. Decide to follow up with calls to hiring managers directly. Pretend to be assistant checking on application status for candidates. One honest HR lady says off record about 5'4" guy. We're looking for someone with more executive presence, sorry sir. Executive presence literally just means tall, apparently nothing else matters. Another says worried short guy won't command respect in meetings. Starting to feel uncomfortable about what I'm finding here, honestly. Expand experiment to dating apps for broader social picture perspective. Create identical male profiles, just different heights, listed nothing else. Same photos cropped differently. Same bio. Same everything exactly identical. 6'2". Profile gets 150 matches. First week constant messages flowing. 5 and 10. Profile gets 40 matches, decent amount of interest shown. 5-6. Profile gets 3 matches. 2 were bots apparently sadly. 5-4. Profile 0 matches after 2 weeks, literally none received. Message women asking what they think about shorter guys, honestly. Responses are brutal. Honestly wouldn't expect this from women ever. Sorry, I need to feel feminine and protected. Deal breaker absolutely. Could never date guy shorter than me in heels. Sorry, short men always have Napoleon complex anyway, too angry always. One girl says she'd rather date unemployed tall guy seriously than successful short guy because genetics matter for kids' future. Watching the 5'4" profile hurts knowing he's invisible completely everywhere. Decide to interview short men about their experiences personally myself. Post in university forum looking for participants under 5'7", tall. Get dozens of responses all wanting to share stories desperately. Meet David 5'3". Working successful finance job, making bank seriously. Tells me about getting passed over for promotions constantly repeatedly. His work gets credited to taller colleagues standing nearby always. Meetings where people literally talk over his head, ignoring completely. Conferences where people assume he's someone's assistant, not executive ever. Tried wearing lifts, got mocked when someone noticed them, accidentally. Dating life non-existent, gave up trying. Years ago completely defeated. Pays for everything trying to compensate, still gets rejected constantly. Shows me his Tinder statistics 5,000. Swipes 12 matches total. None led to actual dates, all unmatched after chatting briefly. Another guy, Mike 5'5", tells me about college experience painfully. Rushed frat, got rejected for not fitting house image requirements. Trying to play intramural sports, everyone assumes he sucks automatically. Bars where women literally laugh when he approaches them politely. Bartenders serving him. Last, assuming he's not real customer somehow. Shows me text where a girl said you were perfect, but unfortunately, if only you were taller, we could date seriously together. Like his height was changeable character, flaw, not genetics obviously. Interview after interview, same stories, different variations told, repeatedly constantly. Careers stunted by assumptions about leadership and competence automatically assumed. Dating lives ranging from difficult to completely non-existent, basically impossible. Social circles where they're treated like mascots, not men equals. Constant jokes about their height from everyone, including strangers, daily. One man crying, telling me about considering leg lengthening surgery. Surgery that costs $100K and might cripple him forever, potentially. But he's so desperate to be treated human, he's considering. Another shows me his suicide attempt scars from college days. Couldn't handle another rejection based solely on height anymore ever. Therapist told him to be more confident. Problem solved, apparently. Like confidence changes the fact he's 5'4". Somehow, magically, instantly. Research shows short men paid less, promoted, less respected, less. Literally thousands less per inch of height under average consistently. More likely to be single childless depressed than average men. Suicide rates increase dramatically under 5'7" for men, statistically proven. But nobody talks about this discrimination. It's comedy material only. Tweet about my findings, get interesting responses from women followers. They choose tall men because short men are insecure, obviously. But they're insecure because you reject them constantly, perpetually, always. Circular logic. Making discrimination victims' fault, somehow unfairly, completely. Others say evolution makes them prefer tall men naturally, instinctively. Same women who say gender preferences are social constructs entirely. Apparently, evolution only matters when rejecting short men specifically. Biology is real when convenient, social construct when not beneficial. Present preliminary findings to thesis advisor. She's concerned immediately, visibly. This isn't what we're looking for, she says, frowning deeply. Try to explain, this is real discrimination happening daily, constantly. She says, focus on women's issues, that's your grant requirement. But this affects millions of men systematically, I argue desperately. Not our department's focus, she insists, stick to plan strictly. Watching her dismiss measurable discrimination because wrong gender targeted. The short men trusted me with their pain and stories. Now I'm supposed to pretend it doesn't exist, completely ignore. Academic feminism has no room for male suffering, apparently, ever. Even when data shows clear systemic discrimination, repeatedly proven. Try bringing it up at feminist discussion group meeting, immediately shot down as incel talking points somehow wrongly. Pointing out height discrimination exists makes me enemy, apparently. One woman says, short men need to date down, obviously. I ask what down means, she can't answer clearly. Down means less attractive women should settle for them, but same women demand tall men regardless of looks. The hypocrisy is staggering, but pointing out causes rage. Follow up with original experiment participants months later, checking. 6-2s. Resume guy got 3 job offers, negotiated higher. 5 and 10. Guy got 1 offer at listed salary standard. 5-7. Guy still interviewing, getting rejected repeatedly, constantly. 5-4. Guy gave up, moved back with parents defeated. Same qualifications, same experience, different heights, only variable changing. Their lives diverging based on genetic lottery results only. David from interviews messages me about new humiliation today. Company hired woman, shorter than him as his boss. She makes jokes about him being short constantly, daily. Hare says not harassment because women can't discriminate ever. He's documenting everything, but knows nothing will happen realistically. Meanwhile, she's dating guy from accounting, who's 6'3", tall. Brings him to office parties. David serves them drinks. The 5'4" dating profile still has 0 matches ever. 8 months later, not one woman swiped right once. Thousands of rejections based on 3 characters, 5'4" only. Tried changing it to 5'10". Matches immediately appeared magically. Same person, same face, just 6 inches taller, suddenly. Those 6 inches difference between human and invisible completely. Can't publish my research officially about height discrimination publicly. Advisor says reframe it about toxic masculinity somehow instead. Short men feel inadequate because of patriarchal standards, supposedly. Not because they're systematically rejected and mocked constantly daily. Their suffering is their own fault for believing wrongly. They deserve love, respect, and equal treatment. Apparently not. One participant killed himself during my study period tragically. left a note saying couldn't take being subhuman anymore, constantly. His height was 5'3". His pain was immeasurable completely. Nobody came to funeral except his mother and me. She asked if anyone ever loved him. I couldn't answer. Because truth is, society decided he wasn't worth loving. Based solely on genetic trait, he couldn't control ever. My feminism says discrimination based on body is wrong. Unless that body is male and under 5'7", tall, then it's preference evolution, comedy material, not oppression ever. Short men learn. Early they're worth less than others. Every rejection reinforces their subhuman status constantly, repeatedly. Every joke reminds them they're genetic failures, walking mistakes. Every swipe left confirms they don't deserve love, ever. And we wonder why they become bitter and angry. I would too if society treated me like that. But saying this makes me pick-me or incel sympathizer. My thesis became about workplace gender discrimination only. Ignored the height data that showed clear patterns completely. Got my degree, kept quiet about what I learned, but I know truth about short men in society. They're invisible until mocked, then invisible again immediately. Deserving neither love, respect, nor basic human dignity, ever, and nobody cares because they're men, and privileged supposedly. Except their privilege is everyone agreeing they're worthless completely, based on something they never chose or controlled ever. That's what happens to short men in society daily. They exist in a parallel world where discrimination is comedy, and their pain is punchline, not legitimate suffering ever. I see them differently now, understanding their reality completely. But I'm one person, and society won't change ever. Short kings aren't kings. They're jesters for our amusement. And that's the truth. Nobody wants to admit publicly.